world. Don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give.
Hey y'all, hey. Thank you for tuning in with the Real Mina Millions. I need y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video, even if you gotta share it with yourself or you just sending it to somebody or whatever the case may be. But this is gonna be my first story time. And this story is gonna be about when I gave birth to my daughter. Because what made me want to tell this story is today we had her birthday party and we had a really good time. Thank you to everyone who attended. I really, really appreciate you guys. Y'all, I'm chilling right now. Like, I just really got home, threw on this sweater. Like, before I get down to the nitty gritty and eat some food, I was like, let me do this story time really quick because I've been promising that I'll put a story time up and I haven't put a story time up yet. So this is gonna be my first story time. So when I gave birth to my daughter, we gonna call my baby JJ number 2 because I go by J or Miss Mina Rose. So we'll call her JJ number 2. But when I gave birth to my daughter, it was like really, really funny. My mom, my sister, they're probably gonna see this and be like, you jack, but why you get on the internet and told the internet your story? But whatever, cause they know I'm beat. Hey, you say that. But I'm gonna see where I'm gonna start this story off at, cause you know when you pregnant, like you pregnant for a long time, and then when you give birth, like it happens so fast. It's like, dang, you baked all this time, took all this long time, and you just come in like a few hours, a few minutes, whatever the case be. Everybody's different. But so my baby birthday is August 16th. She was born on my favorite actress birthday, Miss Angela Bassett, baby. And like I really, really enjoy the fact that they do share the same birthday because I really love Angela. But my baby is gonna be 5 years old and she's so smart, so big, so beautiful. A spitting image of me, and I love her so much. But yeah, sorry for rambling, but y'all get the picture. So when I gave birth to I'm gonna start this off like the day before. So the day before I gave birth to my daughter, like I had, you know, like when you're pregnant, you have those doctor's appointments. You start to get your doctor's appointments weekly. So like when you first get pregnant, you have your initial doctor's appointment, or this is how my OBGYN did it. So I had my initial appointment when I was 8 weeks. When I found out I was pregnant, I went to the hospital, and I was about 3 weeks pregnant at the time. So when I called my OBGYN, they said, about how far along are you? And I was like, well, the hospital said 3 to 4 weeks. So they was okay, we're gonna schedule out for when you're approximately 8 weeks. So I was like, okay, cool. They scheduled me that February, and then I went to the appointment. They confirmed I was pregnant. A little baby was growing inside of my stomach, and everything was good. That she looked good. She was where she's supposed to be. All that good stuff. I don't want to go into too many details because I don't know what I can say and can't say on YouTube. And this is still like a learning experience for me. But so when I went to the doctors, you know, everything was good. Then the next checkup after that was kind of like a month later. And then I had my anatomy scan when I was 16 weeks. So that's when they check on the baby, make sure like she's okay, she's growing healthy, there's no issues with the child, all of that stuff. Bingo. So my anatomy scan is another story time, which is I'm gonna put that one later to bring awareness to like women, our bodies, and the things we go through and the stuff we experience when we're pregnant, and like just to give other women hope, like when you are going through something or you do find out something is wrong with your child or whatever the case is, like there's resources, there's people, and then always lean on your family and your friends, your loved ones, just to, you know, make sure, like, you know, just to understand like you're gonna be okay no matter what your situation is. So with saying all of that, oh, you know, months go by, whatever. So I was 37 weeks this day. So I had a doctor's appointment. So I was at my weekly appointments at this time. And I went to the doctor that Wednesday. In my OBGYN, they do the cervical check. So they basically check you to just see if you dilated any and all that stuff. So I go to my appointment. They ask me, like, is anything going on? Is anything wrong? Is there, any concerns? Whatever the case is. And then they check your cervix and you go about your day. So my doctor, OBGYN, she had like some really big hands. Like, she was a big lady. Very beautiful lady. She gave me a lot of hope and a lot of advice and stuff during my pregnancy. Just a wonderful person all around. And she checked me that day, and I was just like, okay, she's like, well, you still 4 centimeters, because I was 4 centimeters the week before. So she checked me that Wednesday, and it was August 15th. She was like, you still 4 centimeters, everything's looking good, you all right, we'll be having a baby soon, you 37 weeks. We just getting down to the end of it. So I worked that day. I was working at a cleaning company at the time. I left work to go to my appointment, and then I went back. So I went to work, and then when I left work that day, like, I was just so tired for some reason. I was like, I'm tired. And all the ladies were like, well, like, Mina, you getting big there. You need to go ahead and start sitting down. The baby's gonna be coming soon. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to work up into the last minute, whatever the case was. So when I got home that day, I was just so exhausted, and I was talking to my mom. I used to go under my mom because I was still living at home with my mom at the time. I used to go under my mom. I was like, Mom, like, I'm just so tired, like, and she's like, oh, you had a long day, talking to her. And I used to love Coca-Cola, so I used to drink my Coca-Cola, eat, whatever. So this day, I really, really wanted some rice. I was like, I want some rice so bad. And my mom was like, you want some rice? So she told my sister, she was like, make your sister some rice. So my sister cooks this rice, and she brings the rice into my room at the time. So she brings the rice in there. I eat the rice. I got up and I was like, ew, this rice is disgusting. Like, this rice is so nasty. It's soggy. It's just disgusting. Ew. I'm talking trash. I'm just like, and she's like, well, you didn't have to eat the rice. You didn't have to eat the rice. You acting like that. This and that. I fed you. And you want to talk about my rice. So it's like, it's nasty. Like, what you expect me to do is nasty. So we go from there, and then I'm literally, me and my mom is left. My mom was like, that gonna be something if you go into labor, because that's how I went into labor with you. So I was like, she bet not send me into labor, just talking my trash and all that stuff. And then I was about to take a shower. I was one of my coworkers called me, because every job has their little drama and stuff like that or whatever. So something I called out. I texted the girl that was the manager at the time, and I told her that I wasn't going to come the next day, that I wasn't feeling well, and that I don't think I'm going to come back until after I have my baby, or I wasn't sure what I was going to do at the time. So she was like, okay, good luck, let us know when you have the baby, it's okay, you are tired, you need to go ahead and start preparing for your baby. So I was like, okay. Everybody kept telling me, it was like, oh, the baby's going to be born before you have your baby shower. She's going to be sitting right there at the baby shower. Like, you've gotten so big in the last month. All of that stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So, I'm on the phone with another coworker, and she was like, girl, why? This was the following day, August 16th. So, she was like, girl, I went to work at my other job, because I had 2 jobs at the time. I went to work at my other job, and I had a client and doing home health. So I went to him that morning. It was 9 to 2. So I went to him, and then when I got there, I just was tired. I was like, yeah, I'm tired, and my baby's gonna be coming soon. And he was like, well, you're gonna be a great mom. And he was a pastor. He gave me a lot of advice and stuff too. A great man, a lot of wisdom. And so I left him that day. When I left him that Thursday, August 16th, I went home. I got up my clothes, I took a shower, rested, all that big track. So the rice part didn't happen until this day. The rice part did not happen Wednesday. The rice part happened this night. So Thursday, August 16th is when my sister cooked the rice. So Wednesday is the day that I had my OBGYN appointment. I jumped ahead. Excuse me. This is my first story time. Don't be too hard on me. Okay? But, so when I got home that day, I took a shower. I was resting. I was just laying in the bed and stuff, just tired, all of that. My sister made that rice. That's when she made the rice, I talked all the trash and everything to her, and she was just like, you know, the stuff she said back to me, right? So after that, sorry, somebody texted me. Hey friend, my friend texted me, but yeah, so I was laying in my bed. I talked to my daughter's dad. He was traveling, whatever, at the time, and we were on the phone. We was kind of at odds and stuff, so this was one of the days that we actually talked on the phone. He called and we were talking. So I was just like, okay, I talked to him, and he was like, what are you about to do? I'm laying down, you know, about to shower. I don't really feel good, whatever. So then one of my coworkers called me. So she had went to work at the cleaning company that day, and she was like, girl, like, it was a mess. We was sitting outside. We got there at 7 o'clock, and this person didn't show up. That person didn't show up. They don't need a name. This person didn't show up. That person didn't show up. We called them. We texted, no response. So we just sat there. And then she was like, when they finally got there with the keys and let us in the building, we all wrote our time down for 7 o'clock because we got there at 7 o'clock. I was like, well, that's, you know, the only way it should be. That's right. Like, y'all was there. Y'all was at work. So you should be compensated for your time that you were at work. So she was like, and then the girl went and looked at their papers and was like, oh, y'all shouldn't clock in at 7 o'clock. Y'all should clock in at the time that y'all got into the door. Don't clock in at the time that you in the parking lot. So we just talking about the job and stuff that's going on. I was just like, I don't know if I'm coming back there. I was like, that's just too much. I can't take it. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, that is insane. Like, why would she do that to y'all when y'all were there? And it was her fault that no one could get into the building. So she basically telling me like, yeah, she's like, I'm not doing it. She's like, I quit. She's like, today's my last day there. Definitely let me know you have the baby, but you won't see me back there no more. I'm not doing it. I don't have the time. I just can't do it. So I was like, I don't blame her. And we on the phone, we laughing and just talking about everything that's go on at the job and stuff. As soon as we hung up the phone, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a shower now. I'm sitting there and I feel something that goes like, so I'm like, I know I didn't piss up. I was like, it's like, when I just peed up. Like, so I'm confused. In my head, I'm like, so I stood up and I was like, Mama, my water broke. And I just stood up and like, I'm feeling between my legs. I'm like, just feeling, and y'all, I don't know why I was smelling it. I really don't know why. Like, I'm like, I'm smelling it. I'm like, why am I smelling? I smelled it, and I'm just like, I'm just sitting there like, it's no way I'm sitting here smelling. But I had to smell it to make sure it wasn't urine. So I'm like, okay, it's not urine. It smells like water. Like, it has no smell. So my brother was like, you all right? And I'm like, looking at him confused, and I'm just like, and then I started taking off all my clothes. And he like, hey, why you put your clothes back on? Why you taking clothes off? I'm like, I don't know. Something ain't right. So he just confused. He walked up. He's like, hey, Mom, that girl take her clothes off. She said her water broke. So she's like, your water broke for real, or you playing? I was like, no. Like, and he was like, no water on her floor for real. So she was like, oh, I'm coming. She in the shower. She's like, I'm coming. So she go to put her clothes on and stuff. And I got undressed for some reason. So she was like, you need to put your clothes on. So I put my clothes on. And then I put a dress on, some underwear, and a bra. And I put a pad in my underwear. I don't know why, but it was just like, something just like, put a pad in your underwear. So I put the pad in my underwear. I'm like, okay. So we get in the car. I start texting everybody, calling people, telling them like, hey, I'm in labor, because the hospital that I had gave birth to my daughter was actually like 45 minutes to an hour away. So my mom was like, you think that you can make it to the hospital all the way, the one that you want to go to? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm okay. So like, as we in the car, every time she go over a bump, I'm like, God, ooh, that hurts. So she's just looking at me. She's like, well, I don't want to drive too fast. I don't want to drive too fast if you hurt. Maybe we should turn around and go to the other hospital. So I'm like, no, Mama, go. I want to go to the hospital I don't want to go to the other hospital. So she's like, well, I'm driving as fast as I can. And I don't know if that baby be born in this car, then it's just going to happen. Then so she told my sister went with us. So she was like, you just better get ready if this baby have to be born in this car. So I'm like, I'm just like, but the whole time, y'all, it was dramatic effects on my part because I literally wasn't feeling nothing. I wasn't having no cramps, no pain, no nothing. And then when we got to the hospital, we finally made it. So we made it to the hospital. They go inside. So my sister come back out with a wheelchair. And my mom was like, you can walk inside, you can get in a wheelchair. So I was like, I'm going to get in a wheelchair. I'm going to get in a wheelchair. So I get in the wheelchair and I get inside. So the lady, I get in there. I stood up and the lady's like, what's your name, your date of birth, all of that stuff. So I'm giving her my doctor's name and all this other stuff that I called them. They told me to go to the ER, etc. So we standing in there, my mama, my sister right there, and then I'm texting and talking to my daughter's dad because he was like out of the States at the time. So I'm like, okay. Like I'm thinking about all that in my head at this time. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm about to give birth by myself. Like, my mom is here. At least my mom, my sister is here, you know, whatever. And I'm just like overthinking it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like not feeling no pain or nothing. And the lady's like taking her time. And she was like, okay, they'll be out for you shortly. So I was like, oh my God, y'all wouldn't let Beyonce stay in here like this? My mama was so embarrassed, dog. She was like, Beyonce wouldn't come through the front door. Y'all know why she play me like that? Why she play me like that? Why did she play me like that? If I wanted to feel like Beyonce for a day, let me feel like Beyonce for a day. This lady said Beyonce wouldn't have come through the front door. The shade. The shade. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm sitting there. So the nurse came. She was like, come on, Miss Sanders. Let's take you to the back. So I'm like, okay. I get to the back. I'm just like, I'm making it. She's like, are you having any contractions? I'm like, no. So she was like, why are you? I was like, I don't know. And then she said, well, what made you come? I said, my water broke, I think. So she was like, what you mean you think? I was like, something said gush and I was wet. And I just figured out my water broke. So she was like, okay, we're going to check. So I'm like, oh, my pad is dry. Like, there's nothing there. So she was like, you sure that your water broke? I was like, yes, I think so. I know I didn't pee up. So she was like, all right, we're going to get you in the room and we're going to check you. So I said, okay. So she get me in the room. She's like, okay, I need you to take off all your clothes. We're going to lay you on the bed and, you know, put the gown on and we're going to check you. So my mom was like, I know you did not have me come all the way here talking about your water broke and that damn pad is dry. And I was like, Mama, but something came out. So the lady, she was like, no, ma'am. She was like, yes, her water definitely broke. Good thing that you guys came because her water is definitely broken. Like the sack is definitely like the baby's head down and getting in position. So she was like, okay, we're gonna have you relax. And she's asking all these questions and all this stuff like that. They get all my information, get me booked and checked in, IVs and all this stuff hooked up. So she was like, are you gonna go natural or what you gonna do? So I was like, give me that epidural. Give me that epidural. Give me that epidural. I was feeling like take my break.
I need to hear that heartbeat. Beat, toot, toot. Beat, toot, toot. Give me that epidural. What? Give me that epidural. Give me that epidural. Give me that epidural.
Listen, y'all, I ain't even gonna lie, because I was like, I ain't wasting no time. I don't want to wait. I ain't trying to feel nothing. Just give me that epidural, period. So my mom was like, no, don't give her the epidural. No. I want her to feel it. So I was like, this ain't your call. Like, you can't tell these people I can't get an epidural. Like, no. So she's like, I just want you to feel it. I bet you won't have no more kids once you feel. I was like, no, give me the epidural. Give me the epidural. So she was like, okay, because we need to know, because we have to call the guy to come from home, and once he get here, you know, it takes him some time to get here and everything, and we need him to be here and give it to you before you reach. I was still 4 centimeters too when I got there. So she was like, you still 4 centimeters. She was like, and he needs to give it to you before you reach 6. She was like, because once you reach 6 centimeters, then you won't be able to get it. So I was like, okay. So we sitting there, the guy come, and the epidural process was so easy. Like, it was, I bent over, like leaned over like that, hunchback, and the nurse was there. She was holding my hand, and she was like, be still, because you know, like, an epidural is really dangerous. Some people have been paralyzed and things like that because this is going in your spine. So that I got that, they got me all set, squared away. I'm in the bed. As I'm in the bed, like, my heart rate is dropping, and I'm going out. I'm just constantly going out. So my mama's standing up. She's standing over me. She's telling the people, like, somebody need to get in here. Like, she's, you know, she keep going out. Like, her head, like, her eyes are on the back of her head. She's turning really, really dark. Like, she doesn't look right. So the lady comes, she's like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? So my baby heart rate kept dropping as well, and the monitors just was going off. So I got to the point where I actually started going completely out of it, like you know, like passing out. So they rushed in the room. They calling all the nurses and the doctors. They're like, you know, we need to get in here. Like, something not right. She keep going out for some reason, and the baby's heart rate, like, the baby's in distress. So the lady was like, okay. So they grabbed oxygen. They put oxygen on me. Once they put the oxygen on me, my baby heart rate slowed down, and I kind of come through. So I'm just like sitting there, and I'm just like, ugh. And I'll post pictures of me, like, with the oxygen machine and stuff on, and y'all will see, like, how dark my skin was and everything. And it was just like, I was there, and I'm, you know, I got the oxygen. So my mama, she's like worried. She's like standing over me, looking at the machine, looking at everything. And she just out of it. She was supposed to work the following day, and she couldn't go to work. She's tired because she just got to work that day. And now she at the hospital with me. And it was just like, so my sister sitting there, and my sister like shaking, like she one of the ones, she just can't handle a lot of stuff. So she just sitting there, she like this, shaking. And my mama just up, looking at all the machines. Yeah, I told your ass not to get that goddamn epidural. Told you not to get that goddamn epidural. None of this would have happened. Look at this. So she's looking at machines. And then, I don't know, I guess I started going out again. So she started getting pissed off then. That's what she was like, calling them like, somebody need to come in here. Like, somebody need to get in here now. And then, as I'm trying to, once they got me situated and stable, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm just there sleeping, just in and out. My baby heart rate going crazy. So it's like her machine going off, my machine going off, her machine going off, my machine going off. So it was insane. And then I went into labor my water broke 9 o'clock that night, and we got to the hospital about 10 o'clock. They got me. Oh, I mixed up the story a little bit. I'm sorry, y'all. It's hard trying to remember the events. But so all of this transpired on Wednesday, August 15th. So I had my doctor's appointment Tuesday. All of this stuff transpired Wednesday, August 15th. I went into labor that night, August 15th at 9 o'clock. I gave birth to my daughter August 16th at 7:43 a.m. So that following morning, on that Thursday, my daughter, a nurse came in, the morning crew came in, and she was like, you know what? You've been in here long enough. She was like, this baby should have been delivered. They should have delivered this baby last night. And she was like, if the doctor don't hurry up and get here, I'm gonna go ahead and deliver this baby. She was like, I'm about to lube you up down there, and we about to start pushing. So my mama was like, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get this show on the road. So she put all the lube down there and everything. She was like, okay, I need you to push. She was like, on the count of 3, just push. So she's counting at 1, 2, 3. I push. So she was like, good, you're doing great. So then she was like, on the count of 3, push. I'm pushing. I can't feel nothing. So I'm pushing. I'm like, am I pushing? And she was like, yeah, you're doing a great job. I can see the baby's head. You're doing a great job. So like literally in the middle of me practicing pushing, the doctor walks in. So the doctor's like, okay, you know, hi, good morning. I'm here. We about to deliver a baby. So she washed her hands and got on all her equipment and stuff. And literally like I'm sitting there, legs cocked up. And I'm just like, pushing every time they tell me to push. And the doctor was like, you know, she was like, you're doing great, you're doing great. And I think probably like 3 pushes and my baby was out. She was like, we have a baby. And literally once she came out, they sat her on me. And the first thing I said, like, I wanted to cry, but I couldn't cry. And literally like when she came out, the first thing I said was, like, they was trying to clean her up and I guess trying to check her to make sure, like, for some reason they had her before they sat her on me. They was like, I don't know what they was doing with her. And I was like, Mama, does she have hair? Does she have hair? And my mom was like, girl, yes, she got hair. She was like, girl, yes, she got hair. You worried about the wrong thing. So then after that, that's when they put her on me. And she's like, okay, we're gonna she said, I need you to push one more time. We're gonna the placenta has to come out. So I was like, okay. So I pushed, got the placenta out. She showed my mom. She was like, see how healthy this is? All the blue veins and this and that. And she just showed my mom all the good stuff with the so my mom was kind of like wild. And she was like, this is the first time I ever saw a birth. And I wasn't on the one laying on the table. So it was just like really, really funny. And then once she was, you know, out, I'm just like sitting there and they clean her up, they bring her back. So then one of my ex-boyfriends, he wanted to see my daughter. We had a son that passed away, and I'll definitely get into that story later. But shout out to him. I definitely love him. I love him forever, ever, 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 and more. He came like immediately as soon as I posted on Facebook, like, I gave birth to a healthy 6-pound 3-ounce baby girl at 7:43 a.m. Everybody's like, oh, congratulations, you know, they like in the status and they just telling me congratulations and stuff. And he literally like came in like 10 minutes up there. And when he came up there, the nurse had came in the room and she had my baby, and like she was turning her upside down and she was just being rough. And I was like, and he was like, stop. And I was just looking like, she don't need to be being rough with my child. Like, what? Like, and he was like, just stop. And I'm like, no, she don't need to be rough with my baby. And they need to hurry up and bring my baby back. And he just like, all right, Namina, you ain't got to do all that. But see, now he has a kid and he was able to experience how it feels when those people take your baby and they don't bring your baby back. But all in all, they did great. They, you know, I had my baby, had an easy delivery after everything was said and done and squared away. But it was funny, and to this day, my mama tell everybody my story, and my sister never forget the part that I shitted during labor. Yes, I did. I was one of those people that did, and I think it was because I ate her nasty ass rice before I went into labor. So she's to blame for it. But anyways, that's the end of my labor and delivery story. I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but you guys, this is like the first story, and now I'm hyped, and y'all gonna be getting stories from me all the time. And I'm just in my little chill mode, my chill clothes and stuff. Like, y'all, the old me wouldn't even get on these people internet. Not like this. Like, I got my hair tied up. I got no makeup, no nothing on. Like, I'm just chilling. My daughter's birthday party was today. And today is August 13th, 2023. So, yeah. Today was my daughter's party. She had an Ariel Little Mermaid themed party. She had fun. And that vlog will be coming. Probably, I'm going to try to put this out tonight. And I'm going to try to put the birthday vlog out tomorrow or Tuesday. Probably Tuesday because I have a live class tomorrow. So, yeah. The birthday vlog will definitely probably be on Tuesday. Yeah, because I'm getting prepared for next week, and next week she goes back to school on August 21st. So I'm gonna be happy but sad, because back to the early morning wake ups and taking my baby to school. But anyways, thank you guys for sitting here listening and chatting with me and listening to my labor and delivery story. And if you know anybody with some funny labor and delivery stories, definitely tell them to hit me up, because I love a little kiki and a little laugh about labor and delivery and just seeing these beautiful children and the things we go through to have these beautiful babies. But anyways, thank you for tuning in with the Real Men of Millions. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the Real Men of Millions, TikTok at the Real Men of Millions, and y'all can find me on Facebook too at Mina Rose. I do be active on Facebook a lot. I have Twitter, but I don't really use it like that. But I may list it below. I don't know. Thank you.